Alrighty, guys, let's talk about why most B2B companies hit a wall around $100,000 a month and they never break through it. And I can tell you it's not because of bad reps, it's not because of bad leads, it's because there's no actual system involved. You're scaling chaos instead of scaling infrastructure. And if you don't fix that, it doesn't matter how many reps you hire or how much you pump into ad spend, you'll just multiply the mess. And here's where things usually fall apart. At $20,000 a month, you can just brute force it. At $50,000 a month, you can still kind of manage the chaos. But once you hit six figures a month, everything starts breaking. You've got more reps, more clients, and a lot more moving parts. And all of a sudden, what used to feel like growth now feels like you're juggling knives. And that's simply because your business is being held together by emotion, not on any specific process. Typically, most founders get stuck right here. They think, hey man, we just need better leads or we need better closers. But a lot of times that's not the actual issue. You don't have a people problem, you have a systems and process problem. And when every single decision in your business depends on a person instead of a system, you typically lose consistency because a lot of times you can't scale decisions that live in people's heads. So the companies that break through the $100,000 a month plateau and they're hitting $200,000, $300,000 a month with ease, they have three things in common. Number one, they have a repeatable sales process that any single rep can plug into. They have a perfect, if they're doing cold calling, they have a perfect cold calling script and a perfect process to that, a perfect inbound lead appointment setting process, and then they have a closing process as well. Not only that, but they have processes to morning trainings, they have processes to objection handling, as well as they have processes in their marketing, and they also have processes to improving show rate, like confirming appointments and things like that. Number two, they have a culture of public accountability. Every single person knows their numbers, and the entire team knows what the other guys are doing. Typically, of the teams that I'm managing, we are doing different types of sales competitions. Right now, we're doing the October competition. So you can see everyone's dials if they're a setter. You can see everyone's sets they've made, and for all their closers, cash collected, and all those numbers. Every single Monday, last week's numbers are being put into Slack so everyone can see it. If a guy was just slacking off and was just doing a completely shitty job, the entire team is going to be able to see that. And shit, I don't even give a fuck if people are roasting him because it's like, unless this guy was on vacation or his grandma died and he's at a funeral, if he is slacking and not doing his job, he should be shamed for what he's done. And if he continues to do this for another 3 months, he's going to be taken out of the business. But unfortunately, a lot of companies don't have any of this stuff. Number three is going to be daily KPI tracking, which is pretty similar to what I was talking about before. And this is really the real secret. Like I said, you can see everyone's call time, you can see everyone's dials, you can see their close rate. You have full visibility of people's tracking because, yes, obviously, if you hired one of your boys from college and you guys used to get drunk together on the weekends all the time, you can say, oh, he's closing, he's doing a good job, he's really killing it. But unless you can actually back the numbers with it, you don't really know. So the biggest thing is a lot of people hire some of their friends or they hire people that they like, and they constantly tell themselves that this person is crushing it, even if they're not, because they're just not looking off of numbers. They're just looking off of who they like, which is straight bias. So if you can't measure it, you obviously can't manage it. So the biggest thing is you need all three of these things to obviously scale past $100,000 a month without leaking too much of your bucket. Now, I kind of just went over this, but the biggest reason why KPIs matter most is because without them, you're typically flying blind. You're making emotional decisions instead of data driven ones. And a lot of times you may think the team is doing great until you actually look at the numbers. Even if it's just not just revenue, you want to be looking at every single number, like I was saying, because yes, revenue could be up, $100,000 this month, but if your ad spend is up, another $100,000, it's like you're not really scaling at the point that you want to do. Um, or, yeah, you could be doing $200,000 a month, but if you have over 100 plus appointments, it's like if you actually do the math and you increase your show rate, you actually do the math on close rates, like, well, we probably should have been to $400,000 a month with this. So it's like, yes, revenue numbers are great, but you want to look at the grand scheme of things to make sure that they actually work. The biggest problem is you want to be able to trace every single leak and every single problem to a specific number on these sheets because you're not managing opinions. You're actually managing truth when you have KPIs. So, as I was saying in previous, what your team should track: setters, calls made, number of conversations they had, appointments booked, and then for closers, how many set calls they had, how many people showed up, what their close rate is, and then the revenue per rep as well. Because you want to be running these KPI check-ins in your Slack channel so everyone's accountable, because your business can't just run on trust anymore. It has to run on actual data. So the solution, like I was saying, you want to stop working harder and you want to start tracking smarter. Number one, you want to organize your CRM, especially for your sales reps. You want to make sure that they have full visibility of your pipeline as well as you have full visibility of their own pipeline. You can see who they need to follow up with, all that type of deal. You want to require daily KPI submissions. You want to have them review 3 calls per day. And then you want to run team Slack accountability threads every single week. So right now, if you're stuck between $50,000 to $100,000 a month, here's the truth. A lot of times it's not your offer, it's not your people, it's simply your structure and the lack of systems that you have. Because a lot of times you don't need motivation, you don't need more motivation, you need measurement. And when you start actually tracking your KPIs, you stop guessing and you start scaling because data doesn't lie. And tracking is really what turns a sales team into a sales machine. And biggest thing is this is what we do to help B2B founders build full stack sales infrastructure, daily KPI systems, and accountability that actually turns chaos into predictable revenue. If you are a B2B founder sitting between $50,000 to $100,000 a month and you want to scale without losing control, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.